4. That is the bizarre, literally unbelievable number that completely defined Day 5 of the 2026 World Cup. 4 matches played across the entire day, 4 consecutive draws, and, most shockingly of all, 0 losers. It was one of those days where the traditional footballing hierarchy was just completely turned upside down, leaving fans and analysts pretty much speechless.
Welcome to The Explainer. I'm absolutely thrilled to be your guide today as we unpack the fascinating, chaotic, and totally giant-slaying events of World Cup Day 5. We're going to look at the broader madness that swept across the tournament, and then we're going to zero right in on the absolute crown jewel of the day, that thrilling, highly publicized, and deeply entertaining 2-all showcase between Iran and New Zealand. So, grab your notes, because the level of resilience we saw on the pitch today, yeah, it's something you are definitely going to want to remember.
When you run down these matchups, you've got absolute powerhouse nations, teams with incredibly rich World Cup winning histories, stepping onto the pitch against massive, massive underdogs. And yet, the results, a clean sweep of draws. Spain held entirely scoreless, Belgium barely scraping by, Uruguay forced to desperately scramble, and finally that 2-all deadlock between Iran and New Zealand. The stark contrast between expectation and reality here is just incredible. The heavyweight favorites were completely neutralized.
Let's actually break down these shockers for a second. First off, Spain, a team famous for its dominant possession, was held to a 0-0 draw by Cape Verde. And remember, Cape Verde are absolute World Cup debutants. That's arguably the biggest shock of the tournament so far. Then, over at Seattle Stadium, tournament favorites Belgium literally had to rely on Romelu Lukaku coming off the bench and immediately forcing an Egyptian own goal just to escape with a 1-1 draw. And over in Group H, Uruguay were staring down the barrel of a stunning upset until Maxi Araujo managed to score a really late, desperate equalizer to save a 1-1 draw against Saudi Arabia. Just total unpredictability across the board.
Section 1. The Micro Battle. Iran versus New Zealand. Now, the Iranian squad arrived at this World Cup shadowed by some pretty severe logistical and psychological challenges. As the sources note, the team is playing against the backdrop of ongoing protests back home, a regional war, international travel bans, and logistical hurdles like having their tournament base camp located really far away from their actual games. These are the objective off-pitch realities that this squad carried with them right into the stadium.
But here is the crucial point. How did they respond to that immense pressure once the whistle actually blew? Well, on the pitch, they were entirely united. Despite all those external, logistical, and psychological hurdles we just talked about, they played as an incredibly cohesive unit. They didn't just survive, they fought back. I mean, they came from behind twice during the match, they aggressively attacked and hit the woodwork, and at full time, both sets of players were out there exchanging high fives and handshakes. It proved that while the headlines were all about off-pitch issues, the real story of the day was the pure footballing resilience on the field.
Section 2. A back-and-forth battle. The goal pendulum.
The pacing of this match, absolutely relentless. Just 7 minutes in, boom, Elijah just puts New Zealand on the board. The Kiwis take the early lead. But Iran doesn't panic. At the 32-minute mark, Ramin Rezaeian answers back, perfectly equalizing right before the half. Then, we come out of the locker rooms, and at 54 minutes, Elijah just strikes again. New Zealand reclaims the lead, totally sensing their first ever World Cup win. But the pendulum swings right back. Exactly 10 minutes later, at minute 64, Mohebbi finds the back of the net for Iran. 2 times New Zealand took the lead, and 2 times Iran relentlessly clawed their way right back into it.
Section 3. Making World Cup History. The Human Element.
Moving beyond that frenetic timeline of goals, today really belonged to one man for New Zealand. With his incredible brace, scoring both of his team's goals, Elijah Just officially became New Zealand's all-time top goal scorer at a FIFA World Cup. This is just a monumental achievement for New Zealand football. In a tournament where they were honestly desperate just to get on the scoreboard, he delivered twice on the biggest stage in the entire world.
And you know, I just love this quote from him right after the match. It captures the sheer joy and disbelief of the moment perfectly. He told the host broadcaster, "Just incredible, not something I dreamed of. I am so happy. 1 was nice, but 2 was amazing." You can genuinely feel the pride there, right? He recognized the toughness of their opponents and fully embraced the historic nature of what he just accomplished for his country.
But let's flip the script and see how this builds on the other side of the pitch. Because while Elijah just made history for New Zealand, it was actually Iran's Ramin Rezaeian who walked away with the official hardware.
Thanks to his crucial 32nd-minute equalizing goal and his relentless overall play driving his team forward, the fans officially voted him the superior player of the match. It's a huge testament to how crucial his energy was in keeping Iran's hopes alive. Despite all those individual triumphs, though, the final whistle brought out some pretty complex emotions. New Zealand manager Darren Baisley summed it up beautifully. He said, "It's a little bit bittersweet because we had a chance to make history tonight and win a game at a World Cup." He noted how proud he was of their work rate, their excellent possession, and just how close they really came. But, when you lead twice and still walk away without that elusive first-ever World Cup victory, that bittersweet feeling, it is entirely understandable.
So what's the bottom line for the on-pitch narratives of both squads? Well, we're looking at two highly respectable outcomes. For New Zealand, yes, they are still searching for that historic first win, but they led twice against a higher-ranked opponent and controlled excellent possession. They proved they absolutely belong. Meanwhile, for Iran, dealing with massive external pressures, they proved they are absolutely not here just to make up the numbers. They fought back twice, displaying a highly resilient, unified front. Without a doubt, both teams proved their mettle today.
Section 4. A continent on the rise. The macro implications.
Zooming back out, as of Day 5, Asian teams remain entirely unbeaten in the tournament. Let that sink in for a second. Traditional footballing powerhouses, the South American and European giants, are finding it incredibly hard to get past these Asian squads. Saudi Arabia holding Uruguay, Iran holding New Zealand. It's a clear, undeniable streak that is completely reshaping how we view the global footballing hierarchy in this tournament.
Which leaves us with a fascinating, provocative question straight from today's analysis. Are we watching a continent on the rise? Is the balance of global football power permanently shifting right before our very eyes? As we look forward to tomorrow's massive matchups like France taking on Senegal and Argentina facing Algeria, you really have to wonder if the giants are finally going to wake up or if the underdogs will just keep rewriting the history books. Keep that question in the back of your mind as the tournament unfolds. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, keep watching, and I'll see you next time as we continue to break down the biggest stories in the world.